Welcome back to the Wall Street Podcast. Today we're doing a deep dive into a Goldman Sachs report. It's called America's Technology Software Highlights from GSCom plus Tech Conversations. Came out September 15th, 2025. Basically, they talked to nearly 50 software companies and distilled insights on how AI is reshaping the industry. We want to unpack the big questions. Is AI going to completely upend traditional SaaS? What about the business models? And where are the real competitive advantages, the moats, forming now?
Yes, and what's really interesting is how the report shows this tension between AI's huge potential and the sort of practical, often expensive realities of enterprise software. It's definitely not a simple disruption story, much more nuanced.
Right. So let's jump into that first point. The SaaS disruption debate. OpenAI has this fast fashion idea. They think AI agents could let companies build custom software super quickly, challenging the off-the-shelf stuff. They even use their own finance team as an example. Apparently, it's only 20% the size of comparable teams because they insourced effectively. Is that realistic for most companies, though?
Well, the incumbents don't seem to think so, not broadly anyway. You hear from Datadog, Okta. They argue that building and, crucially, maintaining complex software like observability or authentication, it just doesn't pencil out for most businesses. The scaling costs, the upkeep, it's significant. Shopify's experience also seems to point towards managed solutions being better for the majority.
Okay, so the cost benefit usually favors buying, not building.
Generally, yes. The technology itself isn't the only factor. It's how deeply it connects with your specific data and your domain knowledge. That seems key.
So if complex functions are usually outsourced, where does insourcing make sense in this AI context?
The main exception highlighted is really for the entire AI stack. Palantir is given as an example. In those specific cases, building custom solutions might be viable, often because the AI options from traditional SaaS vendors aren't quite mature enough yet.
That clarifies things. Okay, so moving on, how are software business models actually evolving with AI?
We're seeing predictions of hybrid pricing. Companies like Microsoft and ServiceNow expect a mix. So blending the usual seat-based subscriptions with consumption-based models. ServiceNow actually reported something interesting. A 30% AI premium on their platform, but with no drop in seat counts. That suggests customers are seeing and paying for real value add.
But there's also some caution, right, about how fast this AI transformation will really happen.
Absolutely. Databricks CEO Ali Ghodsi kind of throws a splash of cold water on the hype. He compares it a bit to the dot-com bubble, emphasizing that truly transformative impact takes years. And crucially, human oversight is still essential. AI output quality varies, there are trust issues, so immediate mass job displacement. Probably not happening.
Which aligns with what Salesforce and Workday are saying, too, that seats aren't disappearing.
Exactly. They see AI more as optimizing workflows, freeing up people for higher value tasks. They argue it actually expands the total addressable market, more potential use cases, more customers, rather than shrinking teams. Augmentation, not replacement, seems to be the operational reality right now.
Okay, so if AI isn't an immediate wrecking ball, where are software companies building defensible advantages, those strategic moats in this new era?
A big one is domain-specific expertise and data. HubSpot, for instance, really emphasizes the value of their proprietary structured data and deep context. AI natives might be great with unstructured data, sure, but they often lack that deep industry knowledge. And you really see this resilience in vertical software. Think P&C Insurance Guidewire, Healthcare Waystar, or design and engineering with Autodesk's specialized 3D data, visual AI with CCC. These sectors have entrenched trust, risk-averse buyers, and very specific data needs that are hard for newcomers to just replicate.
And that resilience applies to some horizontal markets, too.
Precisely. Look at core finance and tax operations companies like Vertex, OneStream. They rely on unique, audible data and deterministic processes. You need accuracy, compliance. Probabilistic AI, which is what many AI natives use, just isn't suitable there. That creates a significant barrier to entry.
So let's frame this for our listeners. Given AI's power, where does the balance now lie between insourcing and outsourcing software for an enterprise?
Well, AI definitely empowers more custom building. But for most companies, the operational headache and cost of doing it all in-house still favors specialized SaaS providers. I think the critical question for you is, does this piece of software provide a truly unique, differentiated outcome that's core to your competitive edge? If not, outsourcing is likely more efficient.
Okay, next question module. How are the ongoing AI infrastructure constraints getting enough compute power influencing strategies?
The report indicates that the supply-demand gap is actually getting worse, especially for inference that's the AI doing its actual work. This scarcity is leading to these huge multi-billion-dollar deals like OpenAI signing with Oracle for cloud capacity. Access to compute is becoming a real strategic bottleneck. It's shaping partnerships, and it could potentially slow down how quickly enterprises can broadly integrate AI simply because the resources are limited.
And final module, for the established software leaders, what are the critical factors to stay ahead of AI native disruptors?
They're focusing on a few key things. Their own organic innovation, of course, strategic acquisitions, M&A, building what are called orchestration layers, basically, smart ways to plug new AI capabilities into their existing systems, and adapting pricing. But their biggest assets are arguably their existing customer bases, the deep domain data they already possess, and the trust they've built. Integrating AI into platforms customers already use and trust is a powerful advantage.
So for you listening, what this all means is, well, while new AI tools promise amazing things, getting there isn't simple for businesses. They're constantly balancing building bespoke AI versus buying reliable, specialized software. And that balancing act directly affects how quickly you see the benefits in better services and products.
And maybe a final thought to consider, as the underlying AI models become more like commodities easily accessible, how will companies truly differentiate? It likely won't just be about having the most raw compute power. It'll probably shift more towards proprietary data, unique workflows, and a really nuanced, clever application of AI to solve very specific complex problems. That seems to be where the enduring value will lie.